Page 64, Boogie in C. At the top of the page, they are introducing you to a form of music called a boogie woogie. You can read all about that. But the idea, you remember the principal chords we had, or the primary chords, whatever they want to call them, the 1, the 4, and the 5/7 chord. Well, those are pretty much the chords used in boogie woogies, so that's really neat. To give you an example of the exercise, those chords, you're starting out with a C, and then the key is C. So we're going to start with a C, that's a 1 chord, then an F is a 4 chord, and then the G7, that's the 5/7 chord, and those are the chords in a boogie woogie in the key of C. So when you see boogie woogie, any kind of a boogie woogie, you're pretty much going to play those chords. They might stick in a few other chords, but primarily it's going to be those 3 chords. In the boogie in C, there's not a lot going on. It's pretty straightforward. In the right hand, just do what they're telling you to do. The fun is in the left hand. It's a pattern, and that's typical of boogie woogies. We have a number of patterns used, usually for the left hand, in boogie woogies, and you'll run across them. They're fun. They really are. But just look at the pattern. In the first line, it's all C's, so it's the same pattern, of course. Just over and over and over and over. Then it goes to the 4 chord. Same pattern, just using the 4 chord. This is the first measure of the second line. Then it goes back to the 1 chord, and then finally to the 5/7 chord, which is the first measure of the last line. Now that is a little different, but a lot of times the 5/7 chord will be identical to the others. I mean, the pattern will be identical. What did I say, chord? Oh, don't listen to me, I don't know. So that's really all it is. It's just a fun thing. This is a thing people generally like to listen to. You play, it says moderately, you play it at whatever speed you want. Generally, these are happy things, and they'll bounce right along. Type thing. It's just have fun with it. Keep it slow until you just gradually speed it up over time. And they're telling you at the bottom of the page that transpose it into the other keys. Well, it's simple enough because it's the primary chords. If you know those, you can play this in any key. See, in the right hand, you're in this position pretty much because you're going to go to here. So it's here. So in the key of G, make the G the bottom note, and that's it. And then you're ready to play these. In the key of G, and then in the left hand, instead of the C, it's a G. So it's etc. I messed it up, but you get the idea. Or go to the key of F. It's the same thing. In the right hand, it'd be the F on the bottom, and skip a note. Stay within the key, because there's a B flat and F, right? So you stay within the key, and the left hand, you're using F on the bottom. Remember, there's a B flat and F. So you can transpose these to any key you want if you know the chords. Let's play this really, really slowly. It's a little bit tricky, but a lot of boogie woogies are a little bit tricky when you think about it. Even if you don't think about it, they're a little bit tricky. I don't know, something to do. Gonna go real, real slow because of the 8th notes. I put the metronome on 50. It's beating quarter notes, so it's like 1 and. So the 8th notes aren't that slow. You know, play it with me 1 hand at a time there if you have to. But I'm going to give us 4 counts. Let's play this. I'm going to stop jabbering around now. Let's just play this. 1, 2, ready, and go. And.